Waddell Road is nestled comfortably in the bosom of unincorporated Taylors, South Carolina. This unassuming industrial bypass is used by a shortcut by crafty commuters each and every day. For many, it would be the perfect time saver, if not for one fatal flaw. Waddell Road is sliced in half by not one, but two bustling railroad crossings. With the CSX's Belton subdivision serving the northern crossing, and the Norfolk Southern's thriving Piedmont district serving the bustling southern crossing, Waddell Road is about the closest thing to a hotspot Greenville has to offer. I first stumbled upon this hallowed ground about 1 year ago. A friend was having a housewarming party, and I, always eager to drive, had gotten myself and my girlfriend hopelessly lost. While trying to find my way, I happened upon Waddell Road's fabled crossing. We never did make it to the party that night, but we did see 5 trains, a victory in my book. Ever since that fateful night, I've visited Waddell Road crossing almost every single day. Sometimes I only see but a single train. Other times, however, I'm rewarded with 5, 6, or even 7 train fiestas. It's moments like these which keep me coming back for more. You never know what you may see at the good old Waddell Road crossing, but one thing's for sure, when those double gates go down, it's got to be train time. My morning began in a booth at Stack's Original Restaurant. Eggs, bacon, and orange juice will be the fuel which keeps me running track speed today. The ATCS tracker forecasted trains headed my way, and if I played my cards right, I could catch them at my beloved Waddell Street crossing. My spot staked out for a day of Railfanning, it was now time to play the waiting game. Fortunately, it wasn't long before the good people at Norfolk Southern started to deliver the goods. Waddell Road Crossing is the northernmost point of a stretch of the Norfolk Southern's Greenville and Piedmont districts, known as the Greenville Drag, comprised of 25 crossings, bridges, and overlooks stretching from Clemson to Taylor, South Carolina. The Greenville Drag is a collection of some of the best railfanning locations the Greenville-Pickens County area has to offer. We will explore the Greenville Drag and its many eccentricities in our next video. In the meantime, let's head back to Waddell because here comes our next train. Wow! DPU units on an intermodal train. A rare but much beloved occurrence here in Greenville. DPU units are usually reserved for the 2 daily manifest trains which pass through Greenville. Seldom are they seen on intermodal trains, making this a particularly exciting way to start the day. Still reveling in the excitement of the first train, I was delighted to see the triangle headlight pattern of a second train swiftly approaching. This train consisted mainly of UPS piggyback trailers, made all the more exciting by the trailing Interstate Heritage Unit. Thanks to ATCS, I'm able to track most Norfolk Southern trains in my area. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for CSX, who, with the sun, sprung forth upon us without any warning. Just as quickly as they appeared, the CSX locomotives and the sun disappeared. But my day was far from over, for in the distance, I heard a telltale sound. The low melodic groan of a K5LLA swiftly approaching can only indicate one thing here in the Greenville district. BNSF is approaching. BNSF Foreign Power is a daily happening here in Greenville, making it a must-see catch in the upstate of South Carolina. Intermodal trains such as this one here make up the vast majority of Greenville traffic. However, those seeking a little more flavor, fret not! Greenville is a high-trafficked artery in the Norfolk Southern system, seeing manifest trains, unit trains, work extras and geometry trains, occasional reroutes, military trains, and the coveted office car special. Add an Amtrak, CSX, and a handful of short lines in the area, and you have yourself one heck of a railroad destination. As the train rumbled into the far distance and became nothing more than a memory, I began to pack up for home. 2 essays and a test were patiently awaiting my arrival at home, and I wasn't looking forward to getting them done. Little did I know, however, that the weather had other plans in store. While I was sleeping, the weather was scheming. I woke up to Greenville blanketed in 8 inches of snow and ice. Classes were canceled, stores were closed. What was I to do? Despite the ice and snow, trains were running normally, and with this information, it was a no-brainer of where I should head on this snowy day. My decision proved to be a very fruitful one, as the first train up was a Norfolk Southern, fully loaded work extra. Unfortunately, I was not aware of this at the time, as I could only see its headlights glinting on the snow down the line. As a result, I set up this rather unique angle to film the train. You know, looking back in retrospect, maybe I could have gotten a better shot of the work equipment going by. Then again, though, it looks pretty darn cool zooming along on the snowy Greenville day. For reasons only known to the dispatcher, the work extra was briefly halted directly over Waddell Road. Oh, drivers were honking angrily, but alas, there was nothing they could do but wait out the train. Fortunately, the wait wasn't that long. After about 5 minutes, the work extra slowly groaned, and those wheels began to spin. As I said before, trains like this work extra are not an uncommon occurrence here in the Greenville district. Thanks to its Atlanta terminus, many unique trains find their way to Greenville, and I'm always here to try to catch them to the best of my ability. Today I was lucky. Other days require a wee bit more plotting and scheming. Either way, there's always gonna be something zesty pounding through Greenville. No sooner had the work extra passed me by than the crossing gates began to lower themselves once again. It was time for the daily northbound manifest. This train rewarded us with 2 more DPU units. This is the northbound daily manifest train which passes through and works Greenville Yard. Those of you out there who are fond of DPU power, this train more often than not features 2 or even 3 DPU locomotives near the front or center of the train. It is also utilized as a convenient medium for transporting yard locomotives between cities. These locomotives, ranging from SD40s to GP40s to slug units, are often used for local jobs. These locomotives can almost always be spotted trailing behind the leading units at the front of the train. You know, railfanning is a game of patience. Therefore, there's nothing more rewarding than the cry of a train horn in the distance. You know that something is quickly approaching. As thrilling as that manifest train was, it was crawling along the line. This was much to the chagrin of 2 to 3 intermodal trains, which were halted directly behind the slow-moving manifest. I had to exercise patience as it took about 45 minutes for the line to clear. But when it did, those intermodals were eager to move. Here is the first northbound, cut loose and ready to charge towards Spartanburg. Thanks to a large industrial presence, Taylor, South Carolina is a railroad crossing mecca. Because of this curvy portion of the line has track speeds limited to 45 miles per hour. Trains don't often hit such speeds, but believe you me, when the need arises, they'll zoom by. As the sun climbed its way higher into the sky, the snow began to melt. It was nearly noontime, and my stomach was grumbling. Nevertheless, ATCS indicated one more train rushing towards my location. It was a southbound intermodal making track speed as it was held up by all the northbounds which I had previously seen. Despite my hunger, I couldn't resist setting up my tripod for one final train of the day. And what a fruitful day of railfanning it has been, full of surprises, mystery, and intrigue. We saw CSX, intermodals, manifests, heritage units, and even a work extra. Thank you for tuning in to the first episode of Mainline South at Waddell Road, till our paths cross again.